Ann Margret, Hollywood's eternal flame. With her fiery red hair, magnetic screen presence, and unmatched charisma, she lit up the silver screen from the 1960s onward. From dancing alongside Elvis Presley in Viva Las Vegas to earning Oscar nods for her powerhouse performances, she earned her place among the industry's elite. But not every Hollywood legend was a joy to work with. Now at 84, Ann Margret has finally opened up about the darker side of her glamorous career. In a rare and brutally honest reflection, she named the 3 actors she hated working with most, and yes, they're all big names. For decades, she held her tongue. But now, with nothing left to lose and her legacy secured, she's decided, it's time to speak the truth, and trust us, these names may surprise you. 1. John Wayne. He made me feel small. Ann Margret starred alongside the legendary John Wayne in the 1973 film The Train Robbers. While fans expected fireworks from 2 massive icons, what happened off-screen was far from friendly. He was cold to me, she said. He treated me like a child, like I didn't belong. According to Ann Margret, Wayne refused to rehearse scenes with her, brushed off her suggestions, and rarely acknowledged her presence unless the cameras were rolling. While she tried to chalk it up to his old-school demeanor, she couldn't ignore the dismissiveness. I respected his career, she admitted. But that respect wasn't mutual. I left that set feeling less than. It was a heartbreaking experience for someone still rising in her career, working hard to be taken seriously in a male-dominated industry. 2. Anthony Hopkins. Brilliant actor, but miserable co-star. In the early 1990s, Ann Margret and Anthony Hopkins shared the screen in The Two Lives of Carol Lettner, a little-known TV drama that demanded emotional depth from both leads. The final product was strong, but behind the scenes, the experience was anything but pleasant. He was intense to the point of cruelty, she revealed. Everything had to revolve around him, his process, his moods, his vision. She claims Hopkins insisted on method acting to a degree that became toxic. He wouldn't speak to me unless we were filming. He refused eye contact off camera. I tried to connect, even as just fellow professionals, but he shut me out completely. She acknowledges his talent, calling him one of the best, but insists the collaboration was joyless and alienating. It's possible to be brilliant without being a torment, she said pointedly, and he didn't seem to care. 3. Steve McQueen. The coolest guy in Hollywood, and the coldest. On set, working with Steve McQueen should have been a dream come true. The king of cool, the box office powerhouse. But for Ann Margret, co-starring with him in The Cincinnati Kid in the late 60s turned out to be one of her worst experiences. He didn't like sharing the spotlight, she said. He saw me as competition, not a partner. And Margret claims that McQueen would intentionally sabotage her close-up shots, show up late to their scenes, and avoid promoting the film with her. While fans saw their chemistry as effortless, she describes it as calculated and forced. I admired him when we started filming, she admitted, but by the end, I just wanted to leave and never speak to him again. Why speak out now? 4 decades, Ann Margret stayed silent. She knew that in old Hollywood, women were often punished for being difficult if they dared to criticize their male co-stars. She chose to stay classy, stay professional, and suffer in silence. But now, at 84, she's earned the right to share her truth. I'm not naming names to be cruel, she explained. I just want people to know that behind the glamour, there were moments of pain, of disrespect, and I think we should be able to talk about that. Her honesty has struck a chord in an industry that's finally beginning to listen to women's voices, not just their performances, but their experiences too.